The Wandering Knight and the Wizard's Quest. In the ancient kingdom of Eldralore, nestled between towering mountains and endless forests, there was a young knight named Alaric. Known for his bravery, Alaric had fought in many battles, but he carried a heavy heart. For though he was skilled with the sword, he had no home, no family, and no purpose beyond the next fight. One crisp morning, as the sun painted the sky gold, Alaric rode his trusty steed, Ashen, through the misty woods. The forest whispered around him, rustling leaves, distant hoots, and the faint sound of flowing water. Alaric found peace in such moments, though the emptiness in his chest often lingered. Suddenly a voice called out, "Brave knight, halt!" Startled, Alaric tugged at Ashen's reins. The horse neighed and stopped as a hooded figure stepped onto the path. The stranger's staff glowed faintly, and his long robes shimmered as if stitched with the threads of starlight. "Who goes there?" Alaric demanded, his hand on the hilt of his sword. "I am Eldrin, the Wizard of Aloran," the figure replied, lowering his hood. His face was weathered, his eyes deep pools of wisdom. "I seek a knight with courage and an unyielding heart. The fate of Eldralore depends on it." Alaric frowned. What task could be so dire that it seeks a lone knight like me? Eldrin raised his staff, and a glowing orb appeared, hovering between them. Within it, Alaric saw a crumbling castle atop a jagged mountain. Dark clouds swirled around it, and shadows moved within. "The castle of Drevern," Eldrin replied. "Once a place of knowledge and peace, it has fallen under a curse. The sorcerer Malgrin has claimed it and seeks to unleash the darkness that will consume our world. I cannot face him alone." Alaric hesitated. The image of the orb faded, leaving the forest eerily silent. He had no allegiance to Eldralore, no grand cause to fight for, but something in Eldrin's voice stirred his restless heart. "What must I do?" Alaric asked. Eldrin smiled, his eyes twinkling. "You must retrieve the Shard of Solace, a fragment of the sun itself, hidden deep within the castle. Only its light can vanquish Malgrin." The journey begins. The next morning, they set out together. Eldrin's staff led their way through the thick woods, and his knowledge of the land guided them past treacherous terrain. Alaric learned that Eldrin was once an advisor to the king, but after the kingdom fell into chaos, he had dedicated his life to preserving what little good remained. Their journey was not without peril. On the third night, they camped near a rocky cliff. The wind howled, carrying the cries of unseen creatures. As Alaric sharpened his blade, a pack of shadow wolves emerged from the darkness. Their eyes glowed crimson, and their fangs dripped with venom. "Stay close," Eldrin commanded, raising his staff. The wolves lunged, and Alaric sprang into action. His sword gleamed in the moonlight as he parried and struck, moving with precision honed from years of battle. Eldrin chanted spells, casting bursts of light that disoriented the wolves. After a fierce struggle, the wolves retreated, their howls fading into the night. Alaric's chest heaved as he cleaned his blade. "You fight not just with skill, but with heart," Eldrin said, placing a hand on the knight's shoulder. Alaric didn't reply, but the wizard's words warmed him more than the campfire ever could. The Castle of Drevern. After a week of travel, they reached the base of Drevern's mountain. The castle loomed above them, its spires jagged like broken teeth. The air was thick with an unnatural chill, and the ground seemed to hum with dark energy. Aldrin paused, his face grave. The path ahead is fraught with traps and illusions. Malgrim's power is strong here. Stay close and trust in your strength and wit. They climbed the winding path to the castle, passing statues of long-forgotten kings. The statues' eyes seemed to follow them, and whispers filled the air, growing louder with each step. Inside the castle, the darkness was oppressive. Flickering torches cast eerie shadows on the walls, and the air smelled of damp stone and decay. Suddenly, the ground trembled. The floor cracked open, and a figure rose from the depths. It was a knight, clad in black armor, his eyes glowing with an unholy light. "The Guardian," Aldrin whispered, "Malgrin's servant." The Dark Knight charged, his blade slashing through the air. Alaric met him head-on, their swords clashing with a deafening ring. The battle was fierce, each blow echoing through the walls. Aldrin stood back, chanting a spell. "Alaric, lure him toward the light." Alaric dodged the heavy swing and maneuvered the Dark Knight into the path of a torch. Aldrin unleashed a beam of light, striking the Guardian and shattering his armor. With one final strike, Alaric drove his blade through the knight's chest. The Guardian crumbled into ash, and silence fell once more. The Shard of Solace. Deeper into the castle, they reached a grand chamber. At its center stood a pedestal, and atop it rested the Shard of Solace. The fragment glowed with a warmth that pushed back the surrounding darkness. But as Alaric stepped forward, the shadows coalesced into a figure. Malgrin emerged, his eyes burning with malice. "You dare defy me," the sorcerer hissed. Aldrin raised his staff. "Your reign ends here, Malgrin." Malgrin unleashed a torrent of dark magic, but Aldrin countered with a shield of light. The chamber shook as their powers clashed, the air crackling with energy. "Oh, Alaric," Aldrin shouted. The knight sprinted to the pedestal, dodging bolts of magic. As his hand closed around the shard, a blinding light filled the chamber. Malgrin screamed, his form disintegrating into the light. When the light faded, the castle was still. The oppressive darkness had lifted, replaced by a calm, golden glow. A new purpose. As they left the castle, the sun rose over Aldrelor, its rays painting the land with hope. Aldrin turned to Alaric. "You have done more than reclaim the shard," he says. "You have restored hope to a kingdom in need." Alaric looked out at the horizon. For the first time in years, he felt a sense of purpose. "I think I'll stay a while," he said. "Perhaps this kingdom has more to teach me." And so, the wandering knight became a guardian of light, his story etched into the stars for generations to come.